Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on So Stitch X. So I've noticed a lot of people get really confused with my Spellbreaker candle video, which is really just talking about Spellbreaker candles in general and what you would do with the candle. Like, they're pretty much idiot-proof, but I'll definitely explain it to you. So what you can do is, if you want to make your own, you can do that. I keep candles in stock. I got these from the Dollar Tree, but you can get them from a Botanica. A lot of different shops just sell candles. You can get them like online. But yeah, so you just get some candles. You need either black or red or traditional, but I'm sure you could use white, but black is a better one because it absorbs negative energy. Red is good because it works quickly, and I guess it works well for anger. You know, like, back the fuck up, bitch. And that's what you're getting at if you're using a Spellbreaker candle. What are these? Why, like, what are you doing? You have to know the intent. You have to decide what you're breaking. I can't tell you. She can't tell you. He can't tell you. She can't tell you. No one can tell you. You have to know. This is about your intent. Now, you can buy a rompebrujo candle or rompebrujeria candle. I always say it wrong. You can buy them yourself at the store. And they will usually have a big picture on the front, and they'll have a spell on the back. And you just, or a prayer, or some other kind of thing to do. And it'll be like, burn this for 7 days, and say this prayer. And it's usually something along the lines of like, oh Lord, or something else, like, help turn away this evil, break this curse, something like that. And you would just do that every day for 7 days in equal increments. If you're making your own, you need a candle, like I have here, the glass ones. And you need a sharp dowel or a really long, like, pokey stick, because you're going to poke it in the edges so that you can dress the candle with oil. Now, the way you dress your candle is you make an oil, and the way you would start this is you would use something similar to a return to sender. So the recipes that I have is just a short, quick one. I have more specific ones, but what you would do for a rompebrujo or rompebrujeria, I always say it wrong, you would mix a combination of ruda root, angelica root, frankincense resin, hyssop, and cayenne powder. Cayenne powder, you can get in the pantry. Hyssop, not hard to find. Frankincense powder, if you are struggling to find frankincense powder or angelica root, you're not looking at the right botanicas. And if you are and they don't have it, try like a Catholic supply store, because they will have frankincense, definitely. Angelica root, you can buy on Amazon or eBay. Just be ethical, pay attention to where you're buying, don't get scammed, yada yada. You should know how to shop online in today's day and age. If you don't, like, that's not my fault. Like, come on. What you would do, what you've done, gotten that mixed together. You can also use any other, like, spell breaking oil. I don't have to tell you one. Like, get a spell book, do some research, or look at the correspondences of your herbs and mix them together into an oil, a good base. You can always use whatever oil is best for, like, fit for the situation. And I'm going to do a video on different oils and oils for infusions once I get the time. I haven't got any time. Like, this is hard enough as it is. But the best I would say is just use olive oil. That's the popular one to use. And the higher quality, like the extra virgin, that's what you need. I use sunflower oil typically. That's what I like to use. That's what I prefer to use. But almond oil is also another really popular one to use for, because it's communication and some other stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to mix your spell breaking oil. So you start with a powder and you put in oil. It's pretty easy. It's not hard. Then you will, you've done the sharp dowels. You will drip a little bit, a couple drops. Remember, you're going to be lighting the candle on fire. You don't want an explosion. You don't want it to light on fire. You're going to put a little bit so that it drips down and it coats the sides of the candle. You just need a couple little, lines. It doesn't have to be completely soaked. You're not lathering it. Now, if you do have a freestanding candle, you can dress it by rubbing it down. Of course, you need to know to do, like, this is, if you're making your own candles, then you should know the full process. You're going to be thanking the herbs, blessing the herbs, praying over them. And you're going to be blessing the oil, praying over it, combining them. It's going to be a process over a couple days of infusing the oil, of really getting it in there, praying your intent into it, like, fuck this bitch up, or break this spell, or break this bitch, depending on what your intent is. It is all based on your intent. You have to know what you want to do. Nobody can tell you. You have to figure that out for yourself. But so you're going to put, all that process. If you're making your own candle, so you do the process with the herbs, you do the process with the oil, you make the blended. So that is its own thing. You have to pray over it, and you pray over your candle, and you're putting your intent into each little step. Now, one way to do is to write directly on the glass in a black Sharpie or another like permanent thing your intent. So break the witch, the rompe brujo, which is my favorite, or the rompe brujeria, which is break the curse, break the spell, break the witchcraft, the magic. The real difference that I see is the rompe brujo is like, that bitch fuck with me. Don't just break her magic, break her. There's a difference. One is, let's break the magic. They put a spell on me. Oh, haha, that's funny. Like, goodbye. The other one is, bitch, and then you fuck them up. And that's like my preferred method. Like, why would you treat the symptom when you can cure it? You know? I mean, that's the way I see it. But that's all about your intent. So you put the intent directly on the glass, or if you don't want to write on the glass, say you're going to reuse the glass to make your own candle later, or you're going to repurpose the glass for something, or, I mean, whatever. I don't care. It's up to you. You can do, make a little petition paper, basically, saying like, break the spell, break the witch, do whatever you're writing, a spell breaker, write it on the paper, and then burn it. And that ash is your intent, and you can use that in dressing your candle. You just put it around, or you can mix it in the oil before you put it on. But remember, you only need a couple drops. You don't need to like oversaturate it in oil. You also need to overcover it in ash. Like, you do too much, you will create a little tiny bomb that's going to blow up on you. Like, that's an exaggeration, but like, be cautious. Use some common sense. So that's what you're going to do to make the candle. It's not that hard. If you don't have a candle that you bought from the store, you can make it. It's pretty easy. What you say or what you do, some people may not say anything. I'm more of an in my head kind of a person. I visualize what I want to do. I want to fuck up the bitch that sent a spell at me. So not only fuck up their spell work, but fuck them up. That's what you want to do. And so you need to visualize your intent. And then you'll burn the candle every day, approximately the same time. Because these are made to last 7 days. Like, they last forever. So, like, you don't really need to burn it all at once. I don't know how you could feasibly burn it all at once in a safe way where you're not, like, risking burning yourself or falling asleep and burning your house down. You would burn it every day, approximately the same time. You can pick a time to start, like maybe with a corresponding moon or day or hour. Work with your deity or your spirit, your Loa, your ancestors. I don't really care. Do what you do and do it well. Do it on time. Be punctual. Be respectful when you do it, just like you would any other ritual or any other practice. Now, if you don't practice and you're just looking for a out of the gate, you think somebody cursed you, but you don't know, or some random scammer is telling you you were cursed and that you need to pay them money so they can, okay, don't do it. Don't deal with that. But what you can do is do the spell every day. And if you don't want someone to fuck you up for trying to break their magic that has nothing to do with you, don't direct the energy as in fuck someone up. Now, if you have undeniable proof that, like, they did it, I mean, do you. I'm not telling you how to live your life. But yeah, so I prefer black candles, but red seems to be popular. You could also do purple. That's my personal preference because I do like purple. I don't use that as much. I mean, I do love it. I do love it. Because, see, purple is dominance, it's power, it's intuition. So, like, you can use that one. You can also intend it to be for healing, like, oh, they overstepped their means. Let me heal them and they're stupid before they fuck up again because next time I won't be so nice. And you can do that. And, like, that's perfectly acceptable. But black is, like, a really easy one to do. And yeah, so you just put like your intent into it of what you want. If you know what they did or you know who did it, make it specific. Now, if you really want to break the witch and you do a rompebrujo in that way, you can also make a name paper for that individual and include it in there. But that might be bordering on a hex depending on how you word your break the spell and depending on your intent. Because some people get pissed off and then they're going to be like looking out for someone's worst interests. But that's really up to you. Like, be smart, practice safe hex. Always do protection if you need it, you know, like do a circle or whatnot. I keep protective talismans all throughout my house and all kinds of cuteness. Another thing that you could look at doing is blessing a candle for an all-purpose. So that's something I've talked about in the video specifically on what are spellbreaker candles and what are spell candles. What you can do is make the intent for a candle to break all magic. Being a rompebrujería, think I'm saying it? I always fuck it up. I tell you, speaking Spanish is so much harder than writing it and reading it. I'm really bad. I barely speak English. I mean, you've seen my videos. I stutter so bad sometimes. I cut out a lot of it, but like, oof. Yeah, so you can enchant the candle, essentially, to do a multi-purpose kind of spell. So you would have the candle say, break all magic. And that will be your intent, to break all magic when it is burning. And you would burn it for what length of time feels right. You are following your intuition. You are following your intention. If it is to break all magic and you are trying to break a specific spell, burn it until it feels like that spell is done and complete and nulled. If you have not annulled the spell, not nullified, keep burning. If your whole house is structured on magic, maybe don't burn it that long because you're going to break all the magic around you. If this purpose is to break all magic, it will break all the magic. Be very specific with your intentions. Think it through before you do. It's not that hard. So if you do the candle, I want you to think about it, write the intention, either on it, on a paper, do it, how you're going to do, and then the candle will be for that purpose, and then you won't have to burn the whole candle for one spell. I've done that where I've put the intention for one spell, which meant I had to burn the whole candle for the spell break to be complete because that was my intent, that was my belief, and if I didn't follow through with my belief, well, our magic is built on our belief, and if you don't follow through on your own beliefs, then how are you going to get anything done? However, ignore my animals. They are having a flip fit. Yeah, so you have to believe what you believe and follow through on that belief. Now, clearly, if you think, oh, I can burn this candle for like 2 minutes, and then that spell I cast that took me like 2.5 months to prepare will be done. I'm not going to disagree with you, but you might want to redo your math. I mean, I don't know if you're great at math. I'm not that great at math. I'm great at like percents and figuring out discounts and shopping because I'm like a shopping fiend. But I might want you to reconsider that. So yeah, you can make a all-purpose spell break candle, which will last you longer in the long run, you know, being economical, being environmentally friendly, reuse, reuse, reanimate, you guys. Or you can have a one-time fits all. And if it's a big spell or you feel like you put your all into it, I would recommend using one candle for that spell. Now, if you are doing spell work for clients, I would recommend doing one candle for that spell just because you want to be ethical when you do it. That's just my personal preference, but, you know, you do you. So, Let me know in the comments below any of your favorite spell breaking oil recipes. I will comment more down below if anyone's interested. I just listed the main like herbs you might use, you know, being rue, angelica root, frankincense resin, hyssop, cayenne powder. Those are some pretty basic ones. You can do more. I have more like elaborate ones, but you can do elaborate, you can do simple. As long as you have the fundamentals, you're not going to be worried. Like, don't worry. But yeah, so have fun with your spell candles. Please feel free to let me know how it works out for you. Did you go buy one at the store and read it off the jar? That's perfectly fine, because that means a practiced, seasoned practitioner made it and put it out there. So as long as you can read, you're good. Read, believe, and do. You got it. If you can't read, believe, and do, then use your intent, use your intuition, and be smart. It's that simple. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Macadamia. This is So Stitch Hex. I will see you here next time. Bye.